What is going on, everybody? This is Josh back again with another video on Tech and Ish. Today's video is going to be about 911. It's on season 3 and this is episode 2. Now, if you remember from my last video, episode 1 just aired and that video was crazy. So if you actually saw that one and you haven't seen this one is even crazier. So it picks up right where it left off. The big ass tsunami just comes over, takes everything out. I don't know how Fox made this happen or the way it made it look, but the whole thing was amazing. This show is crazy. I watched it right after I finished Power and I just couldn't stop watching it. It was an amazing episode. A lot of things were happening, but if I start talking about every single thing, this is going to be an hour long video. So I'm going to just talk about the main things that I thought that basically just blew my mind that I actually want to talk about. So let's talk about it. So to begin with, you see that huge tsunami just hitting over that pier and it blows everybody away. Like, people are just being taken away by the current. A lot of people are dying. There's actually a scene where 911 dispatchers talking about we need more than 5,000 body bags. So I think that death toll is pretty high. So in the beginning, Bucky is basically trying to make sure that he saves Christopher, which is Eddie's son. Now Christopher does have a disability, so of course he can't swim. So Bucky is trying to make sure that he actually is safe. So the current is basically just taking them on for a ride. And you see Christopher, he's actually holding onto a pole. And Bucky, he's trying to find out where he's at. He's able to get a look at him. And then Bucky lets go of the object that he was holding on to, and he's basically just swimming down. And you can see that he's actually trying to get a hold of Christopher, but he's not able to reach him. And I thought that it was just going to take him out the way, and Bucky was able to find a way where he can actually hold on to something else. He told Christopher, "Let go and I will catch you," or basically not catch you. You know, he's going down the stream, so he's telling him, "Let go and I will grab you." Christopher lets go, and there's like a slight miss that he actually misses him. But he was actually able to get him, and he saved him. They were able to swim over to a fire truck, and that's basically where they're going to be at throughout the whole episode. So Athena ends up having like a little spa date with her daughter, and she ends up driving onto the street, and there's a huge pileup accident. Now, I'm not too sure how this happened because, I mean, the tsunami didn't hit them yet. So I'm not too sure how it happened. You basically just see Athena getting hit and she wakes up and there's a whole bunch of cars just piled up around her. Now, there is one guy that actually was getting me mad because he cared about more the insurance information rather than the person's health. He basically looked like he just wanted to make sure that he was actually taken care of. But since he was actually acting like that, he ends up dying. And I'll explain that a little bit more as I go into detail. So Athena is trying to make sure that everybody is safe from that car accident. She's pulling everybody out of the car, making sure that they're on the sidelines. And she has her daughter with her. There's this one lady who got cut like right here on the neck. It looks like it missed an artery because if she would have got cut on that artery, she would have been gone. So it missed an artery. She tells her daughter, "Hold on to this, keep pressure on it, and I'll be back." She's trying to go get a first aid kit. Out of nowhere, you see that the sewer drains are actually flooding. So water is going everywhere, and there's actually a power line that's down. And you see a lot of sparks just flying everywhere. That same insurance guy, or that same guy who was wanting insurance information, he ends up stepping onto the ground after telling that lady, "I want your insurance." He steps onto the ground where all that water is at. That transformer is down, so all that electricity current is going through it, and he dies right away. Which, I mean, I'm kind of glad he did because he was being a dick. The daughter is stuck in the van. She basically can't go anywhere because obviously the water is just flowing through it. Athena is able to find a guy from the power company to turn off the power line, and she's able to go to her daughter. The daughter thought that the girl that she was trying to save, the one who cut herself, that she was going to die. And it looked like she actually did. But it turns out, as she's being carried away in the stretcher, she actually lived. So that would have been a traumatic moment if this girl would have died and the 17-year-old daughter would have ended up seeing that. she would have probably been messed up for the rest of her life after seeing something like that. Now, one of the scenes that I thought, this scene just blew my mind. I'm going to try to see if I can actually add it onto this. So there's this boat. In the beginning of the episode, there's like this boat in the middle of the ocean. And there's this couple who are trying to get married on the boat. So it's basically a mom, a stepdad, and her kid, and basically anybody who's there who's going to try to get them married. You see the tsunami take them out, and you end up not seeing them until the middle of the episode. And I was actually surprised that you were going to see them again. So you see them again in the middle of the episode, and that boat is just like in the middle of that town that's right there. And you hear the mother calling out for help. Now Bobby and his team, he's actually able to go over there and try to help her. And she seems fine. She looks like she's just scraped up. The one who got messed up was her son and her fiance. Basically what it was like an antenna, a long piece of antenna that went through the son and hit the husband at the same time. So they're both pinned down on each other. And this scene, I thought it was crazy on actually what was happening. So they're trying to separate them. They're cutting off the antenna. They're cutting off pieces of it. That way they can pull them off. They were able to pull off the son. Now the fiance is down on the ground. There's water underneath him because of course the tsunami's still coming. There's water underneath him. And Bobby has to swim under the boat just so he can try to cut it off. Now, in the process of him actually swimming under it, there's another wave of the tsunami coming through. And since that's happening, it's making things a little bit more difficult. And the guy who has the antenna straight through him, he ends up losing a post. Eddie and Hen are basically trying to see what they can do to make sure he doesn't die. And what Hen ends up coming up with was something that I actually never seen in any TV show. So they basically put him on this mask, like a scuba diving mask, so he can breathe. They put him on the mask, and they actually give him CPR underwater. And the scenery of this was amazing. So you see Hen actually giving him chest compressions, and like Eddie goes down there, make sure he has a pulse, comes back up saying he doesn't have one, and it just keeps on going on like that. And finally, he's actually able to get a pulse. Now, the fact that this actually worked was crazy. So towards the end of the episode, Bucky is able to save a couple of people who were just basically going down the current. He was able to tie one end of a fire hose, one end on the fire truck, and another end, I believe it was on a tree. He was able to tie it, both ends on each other. There's a lot of people just coming through, and every single one of them was able to grab onto that fire hose. So they're all just waiting on the fire truck. Now the tsunami, it seems like they said that it's basically like pulling back. And when it's pulling back, a couple more people end up coming. And Bucky is trying to make sure that Christopher is actually safe. So he sets him down on the fire truck, just trying to help these other people out. Now with that tsunami going back, it kind of jerks the fire truck. And out of nowhere, Christopher falls. And that's basically where it ends. And I was basically left on the edge of my seat thinking that they were not going to end this way, that this episode was going to end here and they were going to bring something else out. But no, it's going to still come up on episode 3, and I can't wait for this thing to happen. Now, there was actually a special appearance in this, and that was Ronda Rousey. Now, I knew she was going to come into this, but I didn't know how. So there is that Ferris wheel that you see at that pier. There's a lot of people there who are still stuck, who still need saving. And Ronda Rousey is actually the one saving them, making sure that everything's safe. And Bobby and his team end up going up to that Ferris wheel. And they're also trying to help out. Now, of course, that wave is also being pulled back. So it's making things a lot more harder for them. And that's basically what happened with Christopher as well. That wave pushed back and he fell out, and you basically don't know where he's at. Now, I'm pretty sure Bucky is going to find him, but if they actually end it with Christopher dying, that's going to be really sad to actually see something like that. But again, keep in tune to my channel, and I'll definitely update you on the next one. I'm going to keep up to date with this one because this show is a must watch. I'm watching a ton of episodes. I'm watching Power, but a lot of people are talking about Power. I mean, why would they not? It's Power. But 911, I don't really see that much people talking about it, which I don't know why, because it's a great show. So I'll definitely talk about it at my channel. So as I said, keep in tune, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.